Hello, my name is Zach Backner, and I'm the Director of Financial Planning here at Summit Financial Consulting. Thank you for tuning in today. We're going to be discussing budgeting and our 5-step approach that we use with our clients, as well as highlighting some of the common issues we see with our clients when we discuss this topic of budgeting. Step 1 is to calculate household income. In order to plan how much money is going to be allocated where, we must first know how much income is going to be generated for the household. This can be done either monthly or annually, but we prefer to use a monthly approach for those with more severe budgeting issues because it provides a little bit more of an in-depth, detailed analysis. Also, we are primarily concerned with after-tax income because that is the money that's going to be hitting your bank account every month, and that's the amount that you use to pay for your household expenses. If we are looking for a more tax planning focus, we could use before tax amounts, and this could help us determine if an employer is potentially withholding too much for either state or federal taxes. Step 2 is calculating necessities. These are the day-to-day expenses that are required to survive or to run your household. These include, but are not limited to, groceries, rent, utilities like electricity or gas, car payments, medications, diapers, etc. Essentially, if you need the item to survive, then it's a top concern and it should be considered a necessity. However, this does not mean that a single individual renting a 5-bedroom apartment is budgeting correctly. Even some necessities do have limitations. Downsizing a home, leasing a cheaper car, buying store brand rather than name brand, reducing utility usage. These are all great places to start in order to minimize the amount of necessary or necessity expenses every month. Step 3 is calculating priorities. This next set of expenses is a little bit more flexible and are not deemed required in order to survive, and they're a little more preference-based, such as cell phones, internet or TV subscriptions, dining out, entertainment, new clothing, etc. Once again, even with priorities, there are ways to decrease expenses. This part of the budgeting process begins to lean more towards your personal preference. A lot of priority expenses are based on quantity. How many times do you want to eat out every week? How often do you want to buy a new phone? How many TV subscriptions do you want to pay for? The best way to reduce expenses on the priorities is to reduce their frequency. Once your necessities are covered, you can then decide if you want to allocate more towards your priorities or if you want to raise the quality of your necessities. Do you want to buy new clothing, or would you rather rent or lease a newer car? There's always an opportunity cost when it comes to making these decisions. If you pursue one goal, you're going to sacrifice another. These kinds of decisions are very opinion-based and will vary from person to person. Step 4 is calculating wants. It can be very easily confused with a priority because a want is essentially just a lower ranked priority. You would like to fund these goals if possible, but they do not make it as high up on your list as other priorities. The most common types that we see are longer term focused items such as saving for retirement, debt repayment, college savings, travel, etc. Wants can also include savings for future expenses like a new car, a new home, a wedding. Once again, it is very opinion-based, and a priority to somebody may be a want to somebody else. Some people might really care about saving for retirement, like we typically recommend, and they're willing to sacrifice other priorities like entertainment or new clothes to move that want higher up their list. Some people might be more charitably inclined and would rather donate their money than spend it on fast food or eating out every week. Step 5 is to review and monitor your budget. The first half of this step is performed as soon as the initial budget is completed. When you run the calculations through your income and your expenses, you're either going to have a cash flow surplus or a cash flow deficit. Now, a surplus means you have extra income remaining at the end of the month, whereas a deficit means your expenses outweigh your income and you're not able to fulfill all of those household costs. At this point, it's time to reflect on your personal opinion and decide how to adjust your budget. If you have a cash flow deficit, are there any unnecessary expenses that you can reduce or eliminate? Is your car payment too expensive? Do you find yourself eating out too much and not cooking at home? If you have a surplus, how should you spend that extra cash? Should you save for retirement? Should you be more charitably inclined every month? Or should you spend more time socializing and going out with friends or family? Lastly, the budget needs to be monitored and updated on an ongoing basis. The income information should be updated every time there is a change to your income, such as a raise, a job loss, a job change, etc. The recurring expenses should be updated whenever you notice a change in the amount paid on a consistent basis. At the very least, we recommend reviewing your budget every 3 months or so to ensure that you are accurate and still following your desired plan and desired budget. If needed, we do have an excellent in-house spreadsheet, or our new financial planning system has a very robust budgeting tool built within it. Both of these options include a long list of expenses that our clients typically occur on a month-to-month basis. If you are interested, someone from our team can help you be set up with either the spreadsheet or the system, whichever you prefer. Both these options are a great way to make sure that you're not overlooking any expenses that may be falling through the cracks and that you have a very complete and thorough budget plan. As always, it's important to keep your financial advisor well informed of any changes that occur to your household, such as a change in your budget. This information can be impactful on any recommendations they may have for your financial plan down the road. Once again, my name is Zach Backner. I want to thank you for taking the time today to watch this video about budgeting. If you could, please like and subscribe to keep up to date on any future video releases we may have. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.
Summit Financial.
Working with people you trust.